Okay. Well, and that was it, ladies and gentlemen. We have finished the game. It looks like we're right where we're supposed to be for the next one. And I can hear you all back, Senti.
I haven't. I've been here all the time. It's been quiet.
Yeah, alright.
Upon pain of death.
Well, I appreciate it.
Did you say you finished the game completely now?
Well, I suppose there's a little bit still more you can do, but whatever, I think. But yeah, I basically finished the story. Pretty epic ending, if I might say. Definitely leads up properly to the next installment. I just hope they don't overestimate themselves and drag it on for too long. Try to squeeze too many games out of it. Which seems to be the folly of many games actually these days. Wow, the weather is crap outside. It's windy, rainy. Cold's just blowing into the room. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. While I'm closing the window before it gets really shit inside. Oh. There you go. And there you go. Reconstructing island. Sorry. But that was necessary. 16 sacrificed himself after all. I thought at some point actually he might betray us, but that didn't happen. He remained sane enough, allowing us to do what we must. I would rate this game definitely much better than its predecessor Brotherhood, which felt a bit more loosely, less story-driven. And this game is again like Assassin's Creed 2, very much story-driven, which I really like in these games, which I kind of missed in the previous game. So my faith hath been renewed in this series, definitely, with this one. I'll be eagerly awaiting the next one. I'm not sure what type of game, Santi, but
No, me either.
it's too bad
I
though.
think I can just about manage Skyrim.
Well, Skyrim is a proper RPG, this isn't an RPG.
Oh well, it sounds a lot more involved.
It's an, I suppose, action-adventure game. It's not a shooter, but it's definitely not an RPG.
Isn't it like Hitman, but like set in the Middle Ages?
Well, technically it's a science fiction story set in the current times, but you actually dive into other people's memories, so it mostly takes place inside your own head, if you will.
Okay, yeah.
If you take it very literal, that is. But yeah, it's no, the first game was like with Altair, and then like 3 games now with Ezio in old Italy. But his arc is concluded, but
So what game are you gonna buy next?
yeah, good
What
question.
have you got your eyes on?
Mass Effect 3 is one I already pre-ordered. As for something in between, I'm not sure actually. still waiting for Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Even the announcement.
Keep
kinda.
waiting.
Keep waiting. With the exemption of Portal, I'm not buying all the stuff that they're throwing in between to make us forget about it.
I like that little caveat that you've given there, with the exception of Portal.
I never really cared for Team Fortress. Never played it in the past either. And I don't have shit with zombie games. I don't really It's not like I'm disliking them. I think I am, but I just don't like zombie games. I know there's zombies in Half-Life, but you know what I mean. Half-Life is vastly different than Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Or any zombie shooter. I'm sure they're good, but they're just not my thing. Like Skyrim, probably the great game, but I know it's just a little fantasy world that I just don't find it appealing. But have you by the way seen footage of the new Rainbow Six game, Rainbow Six Patriots? Because
I'm not sure actually.
From the bits that I've seen in
I've been watching.
Ghost Recon is not Rainbow Six. It's another.
Hello.
Well, the Ghost Recon is another great example. Have you played the first one?
Yeah.
Slow moving tactical shooter.
All.
Yeah, and then they're like, no, that's probably too difficult. Let's make it more accessible by adding only 4 guys and a lot of technical technical bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're just going down this road.
The first one was the best.
Ghost Recon is the best, and it slowly goes downhill for me. Quickly, actually. I think I did buy the second one, but I didn't end up playing it that long.
Rainbow Sixes used to be very similar. That's why I got confused. I think it was.
Yeah. I actually played it up until Rainbow Six 3, Raven Shield. I loved that one with the planning and everything. That's what I liked about it a lot, actually, that part. And then they released Lockdown. I don't think they ever released it for the PC though, if my memory serves me somewhat. And I did buy Vegas, the first one. I think I bought it cheap though, but actually had some fun with that. And mostly a little bit in co-op. But
I played the demo for Vegas to death, but my PC wasn't really good enough.
Actually, went and bought Vegas 2 as well, but very quickly I already thought oh no, this is not it. So that's another series destroyed, and I'm fearing they will do the same with Splinter Cell as well. Which is pretty balls, actually.
Well, Splinter Cell's always had an Xbox and a PC version, hasn't it?
No, it's not that. No, but I'm talking about pure how the game plays. The first one is slow, stealthy. The second one slow, stealthy. The third one is good, still a bit more action in there. And then there's Conviction. Then Double Agent came in between, which was still stealthy gameplay, but a little bit different. I already thought if they keep going this way, I might I was a bit worried there, but Conviction that sort of got confirmed. That they just turned into a John Woo action movie. A little Mission Impossible in there. Except with a taller version of Tom Cruise. Too fast-paced, too many unsuppressed weapons, too much personal drama suddenly pushed in there for no apparent reason.
I think it was Half-Life 2 where Valve sort of analysed how people were playing it and how many people got past the first level and things like that, and it wasn't very many, and so developers have a tendency to make it very, very easy for people. I'm from the school of thought, whereas you make it as hard as it needs to be, and then if people like it, they'll just play it to a point where they get good at it.
Yeah, but you need to make it appealing enough, I guess. Don't you have the game like Demon Souls.
Well, I've heard
apparently
it's one of the hardest games ever.
Yeah, exactly. It seems apparently the hardest game ever, indeed. but it's still very well received by the critics.
I did watch someone playing a bit. I think it was either Demon Souls or Dark Souls on Ustream.tv, and they were being so careful about what they were doing. It looked a bit boring actually. How careful they were being. It was like block, wait for the enemy to attack. When they had, then just like whack them once with a sword and it was over. But they weren't taking any risk to like attack them before they let them do their attack, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I presume that was because he'd have to die and go all the way back to the start if he did die.
But couldn't you like leave like sort of hints for other players or something in there? I'm not sure what they actually made up for that for Demon Souls.
I don't know. I'm not sure it's
I never played
internet
it.
enabled, does it?
So I can finally try the multiplayer out. Yeah, but like lately, I mean, I've really turned into a single player guy. And co-op, maybe. Like F1 or something.
Nice, like a little bit of everything.
Well, I liked like with Call of Duty, for example. I loved the multiplayer in Call of Duty 2. And with 4, it just didn't stick. I mean, everything felt like it was about ranks and perks and everything. I mean, like I feel the only way you would get better is like get a higher rank or something. That's probably like the wrong way to do it. But you know.
Well, I did quite enjoy like getting the normal weapons and all that on Call of Duty 4, but and I even like upgraded my PC for Modern Warfare 2, but as soon as it was revealed that there's going to be no dedicated servers, I was out. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
If I wanted laggy servers, I'd get an Xbox.
I wonder why they like
Save
cut
myself
that
a
shit
whole
out.
lot of
Actually,
cash.
it's actually easier for them if they don't have dedicated servers, but probably with all the stat tracking or something. But the guys who play clan-based don't give a shit about that anyway.
It's basically because there's more noobs in the world than there are people who are willing to like put a bit of time into a game before they're gonna call it absolutely shit.
Yeah.
It's lowest common denominator, I think it's known as.
I'm looking at some peaceful images here while I'm watching the credits. Maybe there are a few more memories I can access. That would be interesting. That would actually make it worthwhile getting all those fragments in the end. I don't know. Let's see what happens when it's done.
It's especially annoying when they take a good game and noobify it, like not even with another version, just a mandatory patch or something.
Splinter Cell, they noobify that tenfold, and they didn't even do it right. Because often the controls would throw you over a ledge, which you like. Have you played Conviction?
No, I've only played the
Alright.
first one and a little bit of Chaos Theory.
You could like, or maybe it's like in one of my videos of the co-op campaign, which actually was kind of fun, but I don't really approach it as a Splinter Cell game anymore. But like you have the space bar, the action button, which does everything, but it's more like if you're close to an object and you press the button, it will execute something. But it isn't necessarily the thing you are looking at. So if I'm, for instance, looking at a pipe which I want to climb on, which I'm running to, and I press spacebar like 1 millisecond too soon, I suddenly jump over a crate that's to my left and I wasn't even looking at it, and then jump over that into the light and get shot at, and everything goes south from there. And that's my major problem, and of course there is a shitload of unsilenced weapons in there. But you only end up using your pistol anyway, since that has unlimited ammo.
Alright.
So weird. Yeah. So they turned it like, you know, make it like I think with a lot of these games, like with Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six and Splinter Cell, like those three series as in general. I think a lot of people liked it, but they thought it was too difficult. So they simplified the experience, and then they simplified it again until the guys who actually originally fell in love with it are actually starting to walk away. Which is unfortunately the minority of gamers in such games. Because like from the first. Sorry.
When I first went out, I thought I absolutely got owned because like I was doing the online co-op thing where it was like a couple of guys versus the AI and tanks would spawn in every now and again and stuff like that. And I wasn't doing particularly well at it, but I was loving it all the same because of the like communication that was going on between the members of the team.
Yeah. No, I actually like played Call of Duty 2 in clan base for a while, and Battlefield 2 actually for pretty much only in clan base. Because I didn't really like it solo, because when you're playing it just randomly online, there's like no teamwork. And if you happen to have a few guys with you, you work against it a little bit, but everybody goes in their own direction and everything. So, but yeah, you know, I loved it with Battlefield 2. You know, especially like squads and everything, proper tactics involved, and that was great. That's why I sometimes have some fun with like the Vegas co-op as well. You know, I actually approach it like more tactical, like stand at the door, like throw the flashbang in first, and then you move in, and then I go after that and everything. It's a lot of fun. Bit of roleplay or something maybe, but you know, it's great fun. Man, these credits rolls are pretty long.
I'm always looking for new things. I'm always like wary that there's going to be some sort of like amazing game that's not like overhyped, you know what I mean, and I'm missing out on it. So I'm willing to try anything really.
Well, we could buy Serious Sam 3 and have fun with that in co-op with Steven or something.
Yeah, that could be one when it gets like cheaper.
Well, then you should maybe buy like Serious Sam 2. That's probably cheap by now. I think I actually have bought that on a sale, like a pack of the Serious Sam games. But alone, they're not a lot of fun to do. Only in co-op it gets funny.
Yeah, keep it in mind.
Because like Serious Sam is like really
Mass Effect.
old school in how it plays. That's what's kind of funny about it.
Yeah. Used to be. It was like one of the first PC games that I saw. Just an insane amount of enemies on screen at once. And
I think the first game I bought, which wasn't even for my own PC, which I didn't have at the time, was Unreal Tournament, the first one.
oh yeah.
So since we had like
Oh,
a
I
crappy
don't like
dial-up connection, I could only like play solo with the AI and everything.
It wasn't too bad though with Unreal Tournament, was it? Wasn't too much different from what you'd get from a human.
True.
I like joined a software club when I first got a PC, so I bought Quake 2 with it. I had to decide between 64 megabytes of RAM with my PC or 32 in Quake 2, so I chose 32 megabytes of system RAM and Quake 2. And then from the software club I got Carmageddon 2, Populous 3 and Half-Life to start me off.
Carmageddon
with my
2,
PC.
that was lovely.
It was, I've got some fond memories of that because me and my mate Phil, who's living with us now, used to like stay up all night and take turns on the PC. And I'd be quite happy just watching him get on with his game, and he'd be quite happy watching me play.
At first, a lot of the games I played were actually like on my own, like my parents' PC then, which wasn't really like made for video games. But like there was games like Wacky Wheels in Winter and Commander Keen, and then like my brother bought his own PC, and like I tried to hog it quite a bit already then. But of course, that didn't work since it was in his room all the time.
Yeah.
And then I bought, then things got going.
I've always been a crazy gamer though. I can remember when I was in infant school, so below the age of 11, like being sent to bed and actually sneaking back up so I can play on the Sega Master System. Some more before school.
Ah, those are not extra memories. Too bad. Towers have been rebuilt. I thought we might get a secret. Nope. Alright, now what happens when we get back into this world? But yeah, I think like the Half-Life game was one of the most epic games I've played when I was young.
Definitely.
It sucked at the time. Unable to play it properly.
What, you mean like the performance of your PC?
No. More like me sucking at the game so hard I ended up cheating.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Don't start. So yeah, if you could
Well,
want, I could still go for all the extras.
Started off with 333 megahertz PC.
Yeah.
The minimum specs for Half-Life 1 were like 166 megahertz. And I didn't really start to enjoy it until about 450 megahertz when I had a PC that was that fast. 450 megahertz and a Voodoo 3. Overclocked to 183 megahertz. Jesus Christ, those were the days.
Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed the great game that is Assassin's Creed Revelations. One hell of a single player and one hell of a night or a hell of a day getting this all recorded, but hell, it's probably like a session of maybe 3-4 hours straight getting this thing done. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a waste of time at all. Of course it is a waste of time in a technical sense, but hey, that's why we play video games, to pass the time and have fun. And I had a lot of fun with this one. Maybe a little bit more with the multiplayer, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Mass Effect 3's got a multiplayer, hasn't it?
Yeah, co-op element. Not sure how they.
A single-player game with more than one person, or
I'm not sure.
Special shitty co-op levels like.
Well, apparently, like co-op
3.
levels help you like in like preparing the war, but I'm not sure how they would like incorporate that with different players or something. Like maybe the guy that is the host is yeah, like he's the guy shepherd you're actually helping with or something. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that, how that's gonna work out, and if it's actually suitable for a game like this. But I guess they were pretty much forced to, or something, maybe by EA or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like a co-op single-player game such as Mass Effect 3 should incorporate the co-op component. Well, we'll see how that all works out. Maybe it'll be fun. I do not know. I hope they will actually make a lot better story again, like they did in the first one. Because, like,
I've still got best part of Mass Effect 2 to play yet.
oh yeah, you should.
How does he do
I mean, like this, in my opinion,
sure.
general opinion, like Mass Effect 2 has a bit of a problem, seeing being it's a middle child, and it suffers in lack of story, which I also had with Half-Life Episode 1 a lot, to a lesser extent 2. I found myself oddly unresponsive about Eli's death in Episode 2.
Oh, I couldn't give a shit about any of them, to be honest with you, in Half-Life 2.
Yeah, that's the only one I really care about was like as a character then is Alex.
Even Alex, I was like, I'll just fucking die already.
No, Alex is still good actually in my opinion. Doc could die for all I care, he's just a pain in the butt. Just throwing me into the goddamn Combine Tower at the end of the game. So yeah, it's about time I round up this recording and start rendering all this stuff out, because I still have loads to render from all the footage I made yesterday, so I'll be uploading this stuff for weeks to come when I'm already done, so that's kind of funny.
Get ready for the render-thon.
Get ready for the render-thon, yeah, exactly. And pretty soon we will probably be starting our second season of F1 2011, shouldn't we?
Cannot wait. Most likely in a Ferrari.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much Ferrari. I don't think we haven't gotten any more votes yet, so maybe I should spam a little bit on the main page just for fun, but I do place the annotations in the video as you can then vote. Just maybe I should like throw it in the middle or something. I don't know. But there you go. So I'm signing off for this one, and I'll see you with whatever project I plan to do next. So bye bye now.